Hi YouTube, Natural Love 83 here with homeschooling our son who has special needs and multi-handicap. This will be my third video, and in this video I will be showing how I do his honey and sugar scrub and massage. I also want to mention in my last video when I was talking about his diagnosis, I forgot to mention that he's developmentally delayed. So physically he's 11, but mentally he's a lot younger. So I forgot to put that in there, so I'm letting you guys know that now. And we're going to get right on into the video. I have already started the scrub on his right arm, which I all it is just honey and sugar, and I mixed it together. So just honey and sugar and mixed together. And then I take a rag and I damp it, make it a little warm, and I put it on his skin so that the honey and the sugar can absorb better onto his skin. And the reason why I do this is because, as you can see, his fingers and wrists, they bend in, they contract in. And with him being hyperspastic and having the type of cerebral palsy he has, this is what happens with his fingers and his wrists. They go in, and sometimes he'll sweat and the inside, the dry skin will start flaking, and it can smell. And so I was using soap and water, and that just wasn't working as well. And one day I thought about the honey and the sugar, and I said, you know what, let me try that and see how that will work on his wrist and fingers. And it works very well because the honey is an antibacterial and an antifungal agent, and so it goes in there and it helps breaks up the dead skin. It helps take away the smell. And then the sugar, it's an exfoliant, and it helps to also break up that dead and dry skin, and it leaves his skin moisturized, shiny, smelling good, and it really helps in our daily care of him. So I already did his right arm. I'm going to do his left arm to show you what I do. And I'm going to get the water. And so I just get my rag and I dip it in the water, not dump it. He's sitting here quietly right now. He's listening to what I'm doing. And then I just pat it on his arm and on his wrist and get in those fingers. And then I go ahead and I take some honey and the sugar scrub and I rub it in my hands. And then I go ahead and rub it onto his skin, onto his arm. And also when I'm doing his scrub, this is a time where we'll pray. We'll also, sometimes we'll listen to music during this time. We'll listen to the Bible during this time and talk about, I'll explain to him about the Bible verses that we're listening to. Sometimes I'll take this time to also read a book to him that I may have gotten from the library. And yeah, that's it. So I try to take this time to also incorporate some other learning while he's getting his massage. And I also do the massage on his face and also on his feet, because his face, especially in the T-zone area, it gets really flaky and really dry. And so I do the honey and sugar scrub on his face. And when I'm doing it on his face, because he has a head strap at the top of his wheelchair, at the head part the headrest of his wheelchair to help him to keep his head up. But when I'm doing his scrub, I take the head strap off because I want him to try to work on his neck muscles. So that's the time where if I'm reading a book with him or talking about something and I want him to try to be engaged, I take the head strap off, and that allows him to work on his neck muscles, on trying to pull his head up and keep his head up on his own. And that's been going well. And like I said, I do his feet as well, his feet and legs, because his feet and legs get dry and flaky as well. And as you see, I'm just working inside the fingers, and then I have taken this hand and I'm rubbing in the back of his hand and just working that sugar in to help break up that dead and dry skin. And as you can see, his index finger, it comes out really well. It comes out really well. And so in my last video, when I was talking about his curriculum and talking about, our hope and our prayers that he'll be able to have some level of independence, well, the fact that his index finger can come out so straight, we're hoping that we can get purposeful movement with this finger, with this left index finger, and also with his right one. The right one, it doesn't come out as straight, but it's still, you can see it still comes out. There's some bend to it, but it still comes out. And if we can get him to purposefully lift his finger out and press down on things like on communication pads, that will give him some level of independence. So we're hoping for that, and we're hoping that the massaging and just the finger stretching will help him with wanting to do that and help send the signal to the brain saying, hey, let's lift this finger out. So, and then I just go and I stretch these fingers out. So I'm gonna let that sit. And normally, also what I do is I put the scrub on his face. Like I said, I do his arms and I do his legs, and I do them all at the same time. I used to break it up and just do his arms and his face first, and then wipe all of that off, and then go down and do his feet. But that just takes too much time. So I get the scrub on his face, I get it on his arms, massage his arms, and then I go down to his feet and legs, and I do his legs, and then I just let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. I let it sit. And during that time of letting it sit, that's when like I said, we'll either listen to the Bible, we'll pray, or we'll listen to music. And now I'm about to take the rag. I already put it back in the bowl of warm water. Well, actually, I'm dipping it back in there because it wasn't as moist, as wet as I wanted it to be. And so now I'm taking the rag again. And now I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to wipe the right arm off. And I'm going to see if you can, and see it's already shiny. It's not flaking back up, of course. So, and then when I'm done doing this, when I'm done getting all the honey and sugar off of him, I go ahead and I take our raw ivory shea butter and I put it on his face and on his arms and hands and on his legs and feet to help seal in the moisture. And then when we're done, when I'm done with doing the shea butter, then I'll put on these are his braces. Let me scoop him back a little bit. I'll scoop this back. But yeah, these are his AFOs, braces, and they go on his legs and feet. And he also has his hand and wrist braces that we put on him. That's that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish his scrub and be done with that. And for my next video, I will do a sensory bottle, show you how we do a sensory bottle, and also show you how we do our sensory bag. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.